Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about the one belief that I believe holds people back from becoming successful and rich. First of all, just want to thank you guys. Hit 1K subs. Am I happy about it? Of course I am, but you just get back to work. It's just another number. So I appreciate you guys, and more videos to come. So especially in this next 1 to 2 weeks, you'll see what happens. But pretty much I wanted to make this video because I was in a group. I was in a WhatsApp group. It was someone's mentorship program, but not really a mentorship program. Basically, someone in the group was complaining, and they were complaining about, oh, should I pay for this coach? Should I pay for this upsell? Because for this mentorship program, it's not the only product. There's another product. It's an upsell to a higher tier program, higher tier group, etc. And then they were basically wondering, oh, is it really worth 1K to get in the group? And I didn't reply to him. Well, I haven't replied to him, but I was just it's kind of cringing, honestly, just because this is the reason why so many people stay stuck. And I know it plagued me as well when I was younger and I was less experienced, but the sooner you kick this belief, this habit, the sooner you're gonna achieve your goals, and the sooner you're gonna get what you want out of life. Because what they were basically saying is, I don't know if it's really worth it. They were asking people who also were either in the group or weren't in the group in that higher tier program, oh, is it really worth it? Is it worth it for 1K? Personally, I don't think it is, just because what happens, you just get in-person meetups, stuff like that. And in his head, he was just making calculations as to whether it's worth it or not. Now, the belief I believe that he's having and is holding him back is just he doesn't think in win-win situations. So let me write it down, actually. The thing that holds you back is not thinking in win-win situations. So what I mean by that is, all he's looking at is the 1K. That's all he's looking at. He's looking at the 1K. And I know for the majority of people, that seems like a lot of money, especially nowadays. But you're not thinking in a win-win situation. You're not thinking about, okay, what am I getting for this 1K exactly? What is the value exchange for that 1K? Because all he's thinking about is losing 1K from his bank account. And that's what most poor people do. But what rich people will do is, and the reason why rich people always preach about investing in themselves, investing in yourself, is because they're thinking in win-win situations. Okay, what do I get for this 1K exactly? I get a group of like-minded people. I get clarity on my goals. I get closer to my goals because I have a mentor helping me out. I get information. Well, I wouldn't say information, but I basically get a proven roadmap to help me get exactly to my goals. And what's the cost of that? What's the benefit of that? Well, I probably save years and years of trial and error to get to that goal. And as you know, time arguably is way more important than money, because time obviously you can't get back, but money you can. So if you think about that, then the 1K is going to be nothing to you. Okay, if I know that money's going to come back and I'm getting all these benefits, all these upsides as a result of just paying a 1K admission fee, then why would I not hop in? And also, bearing in mind, stuff like this can get more expensive as they get more clients, as they get better results. People will just raise their prices. It's just a natural process. So even if you think you're saving 1K now to join that said program, you really aren't, because down the line, it's probably going to turn to 2K and then 3K. And then now, guess what? You'll probably never be able to invest in it or get into it. Now, what are you doing? You're regretting yourself. You're kicking yourself. Oh, why didn't I just get in? Oh, I'm still stuck in the same position. But most people don't wake up and aren't aware enough to realize this. They're so caught up on the money. They put money on the pedestal. And don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not rich or anything yet. I'm nowhere where I want to be at. But I truly think this is what holds a lot of people back. They just see the money and then that's it. They don't see what they're getting out of it. Even when it comes to day-to-day transactions. If you really break it down, the reason why people go buy food, the reason why people go to that corner shop and gets that same chocolate, the reason why people do make these sort of transactions is because they want something more than the money that they have, so they're willing to hand it off to said person. They're willing to exchange the money for something because in their eyes it's way more value, it's way more perceived value too. And what I mean by perceived value is maybe it's actually not that valuable in like on paper, but the way they market it, for example, and a good example is, for example, like designer clothes. So yeah, you can argue designer clothes, they have their upsides, but for the most part, and I'd wear designer clothes. I'm not bashing on them, but if you just look at it, you can probably find a better quality, for example, a better quality bag for like that's 10 times cheaper than a Louis Vuitton bag. But the reason why people will choose the Louis Vuitton bag anyways, because the perceived value is so high. Like they'd rather have that bag compared to like the money that they have, the $2,000, because they see the bag is more valuable than $2,000. So even if it's not valuable in paper, maybe it's just another sort of leather bag, the brand of Louis Vuitton increases that perceived value. So in their eyes, they're like, oh, I need to get my hands on it. But back to the topic of not thinking in win-win situations. Like another example is networking or going out to events. Now, don't abuse it. Don't forget to do the work and sit on your laptop. But there's times when, like, I've seen loads of people do this as well, is they lock themselves in a room and never interact with another person. And that leads to a lot of like lost opportunities. So if you're thinking about going to that dinner, but you don't want to, and that dinner is like full of high value people who are also in entrepreneurship, for example. In this case, they're also into appointment setting or high ticket sales. Excuse me. Yeah, it's a dinner, but what are you going to get out of it? These are like-minded people, and they probably won't be doing this dinner very often. So you should just go, because the value that you're getting, if you think in the win-win situation, okay, so they get money to, like, let's say there's an admission fee. They get my money, but in exchange, the value I get is 10x that. I rub shoulders with high-value people who are on the same path, people who could potentially become a business partner. Your mind just races. And this is how the rich think. They think in win-win situations. When they pay something, they don't think of, oh, I lost that money. No, they're thinking of what they get in return. So that's why they're rich. And that's why, on the flip side, it's super easy if you think this way. For example, if you're closing or doing appointment setting already, a belief that's probably holding you back is thinking in a win-lose situation, because it's going to be super hard to think about it. If you're trying to sell someone, if you're trying to get them to hop on a call, if you're trying to close someone on a 5K mentorship, for example, but if you think in the back of your mind subconsciously that, oh, they're just giving me money and I'm just ripping them off for their money, then you're thinking in a win-lose situation. You're thinking like them, and it's going to reflect on that type of person. So if you're thinking, oh, okay, I feel kind of bad asking them to pay 5K for a mentorship, because you're putting the money on the pedestal. You think all that happens is they lose that 5K. They go down 5K in their bank account and then nothing else happens. Well, that's not true. Right? So I feel like I'm repeating myself, and I know I'm just like, I'm not in the place where I want to be yet, and I'm not rich or anything, but this is something I had to overcome. Guys, when you are presented with a decision that you know you need to make, like, for example, even joining our program, yeah, it might be biased, but like, I truly think we have the best program out there so far, and we're not even that old into the game yet. Like, there's always room for improvement, and we've only been in this game for a couple months, but I truly believe the process we have, the marketing we have, everything so far has truly helped our students succeed. Like, if you go on my Instagram page, you'll just see the amount of student wins that we're getting so far. So yeah, that explains itself. And for example, if you do decide to book a call down below, which like link is in the description in the pinned comment, but if you decide to book a call and you feel like you do want to get into this, but in the back of your head you're like, okay, I know it's going to be paid, and I'm not going to hide the fact it's going to be paid. If we find you're a good fit, then yeah, there is an investment behind it. I won't say what it is, because I don't want to put you off of booking the call, but if you know in the back of your head, you're going into this call, you're like, okay, I know there's an investment behind it, and if it's too much, then I'm just gonna say no. Then you're thinking in a win-lose situation. If it's not logistics, you're thinking in a win-lose situation. You're thinking, oh, all that happens is I go down X amount in my bank account and nothing else. You're not thinking about the community. You're not thinking about the people. Like, we literally plug you in with people who will help you get, like, even the students who are winning, like, you can even get in contact with them, and they can help you out, and yada, yada, yada. But I'm not going to keep promoting it. If you know you're interested, then links in the description. But anyways, think in win-win situations. Always be thinking in win-win situations, and stop thinking in win-lose situations. It's such a one-minded, such a narrow-minded way of thinking, and it's probably holding you back, to be honest, because, you know, it's holding you back, basically. So that, because I said it's holding you back, so if I said it's holding you back, then it's definitely holding you back. But anyways, that's a little tidbit, a little short video today. Start getting into habit of this way of thinking, and I promise you, your results, the income that you make, is going to skyrocket, because you're going to attract other people who think this way too. And what does that lead to? More connections, more money, whatever, anything out of life. Just think in win-win situation. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, especially if you're new to the channel. And again, thanks for 1K subscribers, and I will see you in the next one.